Yesterday, Sayadaw explained that among the punya, dana is a minor punya. Among the three types of punya, dana, sila, and bhavana, among these three, dana is a minor one. But if one can perform dana systematically, then it will become a noble kind of dana. So if the person is able to perform dana, called Paramita dana, which means that the dana which will be perfection, it will be a noble kind of dana. So today, Sayadaw will explain on Parami dana, or in other words, Paramita dana, dana in the form of perfection. So one has to spend the money, one has to spend money in order to perform dana. So it is important so that this dana will become parami, this dana will become perfection and noble. So every donor needs to try hard so that his or her dana will be perfection. So first of all, Sayadaw will explain on the word parami. Parami means the state of a noble person or the work of a noble person. So briefly, you should understand that parami means the state of a noble person or the work of a noble person. If one is working for the benefit of others successfully, then one needs to let go of one's personal gain. So in this way, one should not be expecting personal gain when working for the welfare and benefit of others. So when Sayadaw said one should not expect personal gain, it means one should not expect personal gain which has no guarantee, but one can expect gain that has a guarantee. So one should only expect a guaranteed kind of gain. So if one is to do dana, one should not be looking for one's own benefit, but one should aim for the liberation from the suffering. So this is what one should aim for when doing dana. So when others see this person doing dana in such a way, other people will regard him as high and noble. So the word high and noble, the person who is able to do this kind of dana deserves the word high and noble. And other people will regard this person as parama, or high and noble person. So when others see the aim and objective of a person who does a proper kind of dana, so seeing his or her intention, his or her good intention is worthy that she be called a parama, high and noble person. So his or her good intention when doing dana, his or her good aim and objective when doing dana will be the cause that she be called parama, high and noble person. So the meaning of Parami is that it is the cause for the knowledge to arise. Seeing the good intention of a person who does this dana for the benefit of others, having aim and objective of being free from the samsara, having his or her good intention, other people regard him or her as Parama, high and noble person. So his or her good intention, his or her dana with good intention is the cause for him to be called Parama. That's why his or her dana is called Parami, perfection. So when someone performs dana not for his or her personal gain, but for the benefit of others, and when doing this dana with aim and objective of being free from the samsara, this dana is the cause for him or for her to be called Parama. That's why his or her dana is called Parami. So it goes the same with sila. To observe sila, one should understand that evil conduct, misconduct are disgusting. So having moral shame and moral fear to do misconduct, one will be controlling oneself, and by controlling oneself, others will be protected. Having consideration and compassion towards others, just as one does not like to be hurt, others will be the same. They also do not want to get hurt. So having consideration towards others, one will control oneself. In this way, there will be mutual benefit, and it will also be the support for the development of samadhi and panya. And also, when coming for practice, when practicing meditation also, one should have good aim and objective in practicing meditation. One should not practice meditation so that others will praise him or her. So one should not practice meditation by aiming worldly gain or fame. People who only seek for personal gain and fame, they only want to do wholesome deeds only if it will bring personal benefit. So the kind of wholesome deed that is done with expectation of worldly gain and fame is not noble. So one should not do wholesome deeds expecting for worldly gain or fame. So it shows that Parami Kusala, wholesomeness in the form of perfection, is not the work of inferior people. So this Parami Kusala, wholesomeness in the form of perfection, has nothing to do with inferior person. So this Parami Kusala, whose work is this Parami Kusala? So Parami Kusala is the work of high and noble person who detests the suffering of life, who is seeking freedom from suffering, who has good aim and objective when doing this wholesomeness, who really has genuine metta and karuna towards others. So only these high and noble person is able to do Parami Kusala. That's why the definition is that Paramanam Dhamma Parami. It means that perfection, Parami, perfection, is the work of high and noble persons who are seeking for freedom from suffering, who really has genuine metta and karuna, great metta and karuna towards other people, and who really have good aim and objective when doing wholesome deeds. King Asoka said that dana is insignificant and minor form of wholesomeness. But if one performs dana in such a way that it will become parami, perfection, with good aim and objective, then it will become significant and it will open the path of moral conduct. So when one performs dana, one should not be expecting personal gain, personal happiness and well-being, or happiness and well-being of one's own group. So in doing dana, one should do it with metta and karuna, and one should do this dana with knowledge, not expecting personal gain. So if one is not expecting personal gain, by doing dana, one will be overcoming extreme kind of lobha, extreme kind of deed. And when the person is doing dana with metta and karuna, she is overcoming hatred kind of dosa and also cruelty kind of dosa. And when performing dana with the knowledge that wholesome deeds will bring good results, unwholesome deeds will bring bad results, so having this kamma sakata ditti, one will be free from extreme kind of delusion. So if the person is able to perform dana with the aim and objective of being free from the suffering, then this dana will be high and noble. So in this way, performing high and noble dana, having aim and objective for being free from the suffering, one will be overcoming extreme form of lobha, dosa. And in this way, the path to moral conduct will open up. So at the time of performing dana, she is overcoming the transgressive form of defilement, lobha, dosa, moha. So she can easily observe moral conduct. So in this way, the dana she perform can open the path to charana, moral conduct. So if one can perform dana in such a way that the path to moral conduct will open up, his or her dana will be high and noble. So let us look at the 5 precepts which should be observed by the lay person. Stealing, having sexual misconduct, lying for personal gain, taking intoxicants to have fun. These are committed because one wants happiness, one wants to have fun. So they commit these transgressions without any limit. They commit these unlawful acts. They are breaking the law, they are breaking the precept because they are indulging in extreme form of lobha. Torturing, tormenting, killing others, destroying other people's belongings, lying to destroy others. These are committed because they are indulging in dosa and because they do not have any compassion or patience towards others. So these acts are done with extreme form of dosa. These unlawful acts are done because people do not see the flaws of these misconduct and they think of them as good. So these acts are rooted in moha, delusion, not seeing the flaws of it and not seeing them as good. So having this delusion, moha present, they are ready to do any kind of bad deeds, and then they indulge in the extreme form of lobha, dosa and moha. At the time of performing dana, the person will be free from extreme kind of lobha, dosa, moha. So the person who is performing this kind of dana can easily observe the 5 precepts. So in this way, the dana, this kind of dana, can open the path to charana, moral conduct, and she can easily walk further on the path of moral conduct. But the kind of dana which is not parami dana cannot open the path of moral conduct. So they just do dana only. They do big kind of dana, but they commit evil conduct. So in the world, there are people who offer, who do great dana, good dana, but they cannot stay away from misconduct. There are a lot of people in the world like this. So doing dana is supporting the receiver so that she will have what she needs. So it is making others happy and well. So it is a kind of social work. There is no conduct in this dana. Everyone can do dana. Anyone of any belief can do dana. Even if it is not special, one can share with others whatever she has. So this kind of dana has no moral conduct in it. But if the dana is done in such a way that it can open the path of moral conduct, then one will be able to practice moral conduct. So charana means practicing the moral conduct, practicing refraining from things that should be refrained, performing things that should be performed. So practicing, refraining and performing is called charana. So this charana, moral conduct, is a kind of work. Moral conduct cannot be fulfilled without any work, without doing anything. So if one practices refraining from things that should be refrained and performing things that should be performed, if the person does that over and over again, then moral conduct will be fulfilled. So in this way, sarana can also mean fulfilling moral conduct. So this sarana can mean practicing the moral conduct, working the moral conduct, and fulfilling the moral conduct. So observing morality, it is not enough to do it just once. So in order to observe morality, one should know the method how to observe the precepts, and one should put into practice by refraining from things that should be refrained. And one should observe sila so that this sila will be fulfilled. And then one should practice so that the sila will not break, will not breach, or will not wither. So observing so that the sila will not be break, will not breach, or will not wither, it means one is fulfilling the sila so that it will be complete. Only if one can observe the sila so that it will be fulfilled and complete, then it will be called sarana sila. So in this way, if one can fulfill and complete the sila so that it will be satisfying, then only it will be called sarana sila. So there are 15 kinds of sarana, 15 kinds of moral conduct. The first one is sila samvara. Sila samvara means guarding, protecting, so that one will not be committing bad action by body and speech. So this sila samvara is one of the 15 kinds of sarana. And the second one is indriya samvara. Indriya means faculty. The sense faculties such as eye, ear, nose, mouth, body, and the mind. These are the sense faculties. So these senses should be refrained and controlled. If one does not have any restraint or control, if one will keep open eye, and if one will listen without any control, without any restraint, then he/she will have greed when he/she meets with a desirable object, and when there are undesirable objects, there will be anger, hatred, and so on. So if there is no control or no restraint over these senses, what will arise is all unwholesome. So in this way, one should have control, one should have restraint with mindfulness, so that one will not have greed, hatred, and so on. So this restraint of these sense faculties is one of the sarana. So the third one is bhojane natanyuta, which means that one should have moderate food. Not only food, but it also has to do with other items, other usable things. So one should be moderate in eating, in using things, so that it will not be extravagant or too extreme. So it is very important to be moderate in eating and also choosing things. So the other one is Zagriya Nu Yoga. It means that when refraining from things that should be refrained, when refraining from misconduct, evil conduct, when performing wholesome deeds, meritorious deeds, one should be alert, active. So one should not be doing these in a very slow and sluggish manner. When performing dana, when observing morality, especially when practicing Satipatthana meditation, when noting the presently arising object at the very moment they arise, one should be practicing these with ardent effort, with full alertness and readiness and activeness. So in this way, one should be practicing with ardent effort, having alertness, readiness and activeness. So it is called Zagriya Nu Yoga. So the other ones are the 7 possessions of a noble person. It's also called Charana. 4 kinds of fine material absorption is also called Charana. So adding all these up, there are 15 kinds of Charana that are to be practiced, that are to be fulfilled. So the 7 kinds of possession of a noble person. The first one is Saddha, faith and confidence. The second one is Hiri, moral shame, having discussed on the evil conduct. And the third one is Ottappa, having moral fear from evil conduct. And the fourth one is Bahusatya, having general knowledge. And the fifth one is Viriya, courage to refrain from things that should be refrained, and the courage to perform that should be performed. So this Viriya, courage or effort, is the fifth one. The sixth one is Sati, mindfulness. And the seventh one is Panya, having knowledge, having analytical knowledge on the true nature. So these 15 are also called Sarana Dhamma. So in order to reach the peaceful state, in order to reach a peaceful state where it is extremely good, one needs to walk the path of moral conduct. Without walking on the path of moral conduct, one cannot gain genuine kind of happiness. So this charana should be practiced. This charana must definitely be practiced. So without charana, one cannot get anywhere to reach the genuine happiness, genuine peace. So one should know what are the bad consequences by breaking the sila, and one should have faith and confidence in the sila. And one should also know the benefits that can be obtained by fulfilling the sila. So by understanding the bad consequences of breaking the sila and the benefits of fulfilling the sila, must be known, and one should have faith and confidence. And one should also know the benefit of the work that one is doing, and one should have faith and confidence on the work. Especially when practicing Vipassana meditation, noting whatever object that arises with aim and effort. If the person is able to note the presently arising object with aim and effort, then the mind will be pure, clean, and wholesome. So one should have faith and confidence in this practice. And when the noting mind falls calm and collected on the object, he/she will come to know the true nature. And when he/she develops Vipassana jnana, then he/she will be developing both the mind and the knowledge. And when the yogi is developing Vipassana jnana, then there will be a unique kind of happiness, unique kind of pleasure that is unrelinquishable, that is so many times better than the sensual pleasure. Hearing about this unique happiness, unique kind of pleasure that can be gained through practice of meditation, hearing it from someone who is trustworthy or from reading books, one should develop faith and confidence on the practice. So if one is practicing half-heartedly, without any faith and confidence, he/she will not get benefit. So in practicing dharana, one should have moral shame and moral fear to do misconduct by body and speech. Especially, one should have moral shame and moral fear to fail to note the presently arising object. So one should have shame and fear from noting, not respectfully, taking easy in the practice. So it is very important for the yogi to have shame and fear from failing to note the presently arising object. If the yogi fails to note the object for 1 minute, there will be 60 times of failure, and there will be a big gap in the practice. So in the gap, the defilements such as lobha and dosa can enter into the mind. Even if this lobha and dosa does not enter, there will be delusion, moha, when he/she fails to note the presently arising object. So the yogi who is able to note respectfully, meticulously, has moral shame and moral fear to be failing to note the object. So if this moral shame and moral fear is developed in the yogi, then the yogi is able to note continuously, thoroughly, with continuous effort. So it is very important. And there should be bahusatya. One should know the correct method, how to practice the dharana. One should know how to note so that one will not miss the object. So in order to note the object without missing, one needs to put effort. So one should know how to exert effort so that the object is not missed. So you need to follow the guidance given by the teacher, you should have viriya, you should have effort, you should have courage. So you should practice with courage without regard to your body and life. You should not be afraid that your body will get hurt or die when practicing Satipatthana meditation. So you should not regard your body and life. And you should note the presently arising object without failing, without missing. So one should have continuous effort to note the presently arising object so that sati, mindfulness, will develop. So when sati, mindfulness develops, there will be no failure or no missing to note the object. So if one fails to put effort, fails to assert effort, then there will be failure to note the object. And one will fail to overcome pariyuttana kilesa, obsessive form of kilesa, so it will be a great loss. So there should not be failure to note the object with effort. When the mind falls calm and collected on the object, he, she will discern nama and rupa, mind and matter distinctly, and one will understand the cause and effect clearly, completely, in a very clear-cut manner. And gradually, the yogi will develop jnana, knowledge, stage by stage, and he, she will come to discern the characteristics of impermanent suffering and non-self. So in this way, the dharana will be practiced. So the mundane kind of jhana, it is not necessary to be free from samsara vata, to be free from suffering. So in order to be free from suffering, you do not need mundane kind of absorption. Vipassana jhana, vipassana absorption, is similar to lokiya jhana, but this vipassana jhana is more important in order to be free from suffering. So just like the Asoka said, if you can do dana in such a way that the path to moral conduct will be open, then this kind of dana will be high and noble. This high and noble dana, by performing this high and noble dana, one can overcome the extreme form of lobha, dosa, moha. So in this way, the dharana, the path of moral conduct, will open and one can walk on this path so that obsessive and latent form of kilesa, defilements, could be overcome through practicing samadhi and panya. So by walking on this dharana, one will be able to control oneself, one will have restraint over the senses, and one will be moderate in eating and making use of the belongings. One will be able to differentiate what is suitable and what is not suitable, what is necessary, what is not necessary. So in the practice, he, she will be alert and active to practice. So today, Sayadaw explained on how the path of dharana, moral conduct, is opened by doing dana. So time is up, so Sayadaw will continue to explain from both theoretical and practical aspects tomorrow.